Guys, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret as to why Eddie the Hitman Hearn is only focusing on making Dillian Whyte versus Derek Chisora rather than Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz. Because, you know, every interview that I'm watching that Eddie Hearn's in, when they ask him about Luis Ortiz as a possible opponent for his fighter, Dillian Whyte, he always says that the front runner or the guy they're really focused in on facing Dillian Whyte is Derek Chisora rematch. He's even claimed that more people want to see that than Luis Ortiz. Now, I don't know how true that is, but I would imagine it might be true for the simple fact that Derek Chisora and Dillian Whyte are from the UK. So he's probably talking about the people in the UK, because obviously UK boxing fans want to see, you know, UK fighters fight each other, especially guys who have beef. The problem is, I'm not British, right? I'm not a British boxing fan, so I'm not like obsessed with watching only UK fighters fight. Okay, just how it is for me. I want to see Luis Ortiz because Luis Ortiz is a different fighter. He's a different name. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you the real reason he's doing this. Okay, it's because it's an in-house fight. That's basically what it is. This is an in-house fight for Mr. Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is a promoter, right? He promotes both Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora. If he has Dillian Whyte fight Derek Chisora in an in-house fight, all the money goes with him. He doesn't have to split the money with, you know, another promoter. He doesn't have to split the revenue with another promoter. He gets to keep all the money, right? It's an in-house fight. He's planning on having Dillian Whyte fight 2 in-house fights in his next 2 fights, right? Number 1 with Derek Chisora in the rematch. Then number 2 with Anthony Joshua in April, right? He's been saying for a long time now that he wants Dillian Whyte to face Anthony Joshua in a rematch. So if that comes to fruition, this would be 2 back-to-back in-house fights for Dillian Whyte that Eddie Hearn is having him on these 2 back-to-back fights. Again, it's greed. It's greed. He realizes that this is an in-house fight. He's gonna get all the money, right? He doesn't have to split with no promoters. If he fights with Luis Ortiz, he doesn't promote Luis Ortiz anymore. Luis Ortiz was with Eddie Hearn for like a 2-3 fight contract, or I don't know, something like that, like 2 years ago. Now I believe he fights with Al Heyman. I believe he signed with Al Heyman now, so he would have to be doing shit with other promoters, Al Heyman, whoever promotes Luis Ortiz. He doesn't want to do that. That's one of the reasons I believe that Eddie Hearn is just so keen on making Derek Chisora versus Dillian Whyte. Another reason is because I believe that he might have some concern in Dillian Whyte's chances against Luis Ortiz. He really wants to make this rematch between Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua, right? Because it's an in-house fight. He's going to get money out of this, right? He wants to make this fight happen. And he perceives, right? He looks at Luis Ortiz as a bigger threat than Derek Chisora. Yeah, Luis Ortiz might be a bigger fight. He might bring more money. But he's not... I mean, no. Derek Chisora might be a bigger draw. He might bring more money. Maybe more UK boxing fans might want to see him versus Dillian Whyte rather than Luis Ortiz. But he's not more of a threat than Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is much more of a threat. Eddie Hearn already saw the outcome of a fight between Dillian Whyte versus Derek Chisora, so he knows what's going to happen in the rematch. He knows it's going to be the same thing. Derek Chisora is going to gas out, and he's going to end up losing once again. And once again, this is the Eddie Hearn. It's a safe fight for Eddie Hearn, and it will keep his fighter Dillian Whyte in line to face another in-house fight against Anthony Joshua. But he's afraid that if he puts him in there against Luis Ortiz, that's a risky fight. First of all, it's not an in-house fight, so he's going to have to split some of the revenue, whatever they generate, that fight generates, with the other promoters, right? Another thing, if Dillian Whyte loses to Luis Ortiz, well, that just fucked up Eddie Hearn's in-house fight between Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua, because he really wants to have Dillian Whyte versus Anthony Joshua. I believe Dillian Whyte deserves the title shot. Okay, so I'm not gonna hate on that fight. All right, I'm not hating on that fight. I believe he deserves a title shot. But I think that when it comes to Eddie Hearn, he looks at it as a title shot thing, but also as a in-house fight, a way to make himself more money. And he feels that it's risky if he puts Dillian Whyte in there with Luis Ortiz, because if he loses, now he can't make the rematch with Dillian Whyte versus Anthony Joshua. He can't make it because he just lost. Now everyone's going to be demanding Luis Ortiz versus Anthony Joshua. And I don't think Eddie Hearn is afraid to put Anthony Joshua in there with Luis Ortiz. I just think that he would have liked it more for it to be an in-house fight between Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. Because then he's going to be annoyed because he's going to be thinking to himself, oh shit, now I can't make this rematch with Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua because Dillian Whyte lost, and now all the boxing fans are demanding that Luis Ortiz gets a shot at Anthony Joshua. And now I have to fight, you know, I have to make this fight happen, and now it's not going to be an in-house fight. We're going to have to split the revenue with this promoter. And he doesn't want that. He's a promoter. At the end of the day, promoters are greedy people. They're people that want to make money from their fighters. That's what, you know, their job is to promote their fighters, to act like their fighters are unbeatable. Nobody can beat their fighters. But their job is also to put money in their pockets, right? That's how they make their money, by promoting their fighters, by having it. When boxing fans go and buy tickets, they get a percentage of that, right? Boxers pay them the amount of money that the boxers make. They pay the promoters a percentage. So that's what they have to do, a good job at promoting their fighters. And like I said, I think it's more of an in-house thing. I think it's more of a Eddie Hearn just being a bit greedy, and he doesn't want to risk Dillian Whyte possibly losing to Derek Chisora, because I think he's perceived, I mean, possibly losing to Luis Ortiz. I think he perceives Luis Ortiz as a tougher fight that might backfire on Dillian Whyte. This is how I see it. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Subscribe, man. Thanks for watching.